With Star Wars Squadrons now released, there's going to probably be a lot of players now no longer playing the Starfighter mode in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it got me thinking, I wonder how much different the two games feel. So what I've done is play the two games back to back just to kind of feel the immediate difference, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on which game feels better to play. But before we jump into the video, be sure to give this video a like if you enjoy it, as it shows support to the channel and helps me out a lot, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars content. So first of all, I jumped into Squadrons. I've been playing it a lot lately. It's a fun game and I really enjoy all the different abilities that the game has to offer. You can do different builds for different ships and really set up each craft as to how you want to play. Not only that, you are needed to have almost a composition of different ships and loadouts and be well balanced. Too many fighters on your team and not a support ship? That can be okay, but if the enemy has a support ship, you might find you're struggling to shake off missiles, or the enemy fighters keep getting health buffs. That's what makes Squadrons a more tactical and teamwork focused experience, something that the Starfighter mode in Battlefront 2 lacks slightly. In Battlefront 2, it just feels like you're zerg rushing an objective all the time and there isn't much actual teamwork involved. Besides, in Squadrons, when you save a teammate from someone who's chasing them, the characters usually exchange a few sarcastic comments to one another, which I really like. Graphically, however, I feel like Battlefront 2's Starfighter mode excels. The game just looks beautiful and there's so much more going on in the background. You really feel like you're part of this huge fleet battle. The fleet battles in Squadrons are bigger, so you do get this kind of broader scale feel, but it's kind of not as hectic, I guess, and not as fast paced as the likes of Battlefront 2. However, I can't really knock Squadrons for this as much, as the game is also kind of catering towards players that want a virtual reality experience, and VR headsets graphics aren't quite as good and the FPS isn't as high either. Unfortunately, that means even if you're playing it normally and not in VR, you still suffer the graphic hit and the performance hit. But I noticed that on Squadrons I get like 200 FPS like all the time, but yet it feels like I'm getting like 30, where Battlefront 2 does run a lot better, but then again it's not something that I'm necessarily knocking Squadrons for. Squadrons does shine a bit though in terms of spawns. The spawns aren't perfect, but at least you do get to spawn a little bit back from the action. You get time to assess what's going on and where you want to go. In Battlefront, you're thrown almost immediately into dogfights, and I noticed I got spawn killed quite a bit, which can be very frustrating. And in the dogfighting mode on Squadrons, if that was happening in Squadrons, that would just be crippling for a team that's already losing, considering you only need 30 kills to end the game. On the flip side though, Battlefront 2 is more catered towards a casual just jump in and start shooting at things experience. Where Squadrons has a lot more abilities that you can customise for your starfighters, Battlefront 2 shines with its different factions and therefore different looking ships, which you get to enjoy in third person, and not only that, you get to fly ships like the Millennium Falcon, Slave 1, Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, the list goes on. Though I am feeling confident that there will be more ships added to Squadrons at a later date, but I feel like this was left worth mentioning. When it comes to mission objectives, if you play fleet battles in Squadrons, it feels very similar to Battlefront 2. You have one large ship or something large that you need to destroy, which takes a bit of time, requiring multiple people to attack at once in order to win, so it's kind of a tie there for me. Both games kind of feel the same in terms of objectives. All in all, I kind of feel like both games are good in their own way, but depending on what you're after, you may find yourself leaning to one side. If you're after a more tactical and strategic experience, then Squadrons is definitely a game to get and play more. The customization and teamwork needed makes it a very interesting title, and even potentially esports worthy once the game is maybe more fleshed out with content. However, if you're looking for a more laid back, not much skill required, fun fun experience with the added benefit of better graphics and performance, then Battlefront 2's Starfighter mode is the game of choice. I think personally I would enjoy both games, as just because Battlefront has the different eras that you can play with different ships, and you've got the hero and villain ships, but in a different side, the way Squadrons likes to make you really have those drawn out dogfights where you're chasing someone around a load of asteroids or through the wreckage of an old Star Destroyer. Ultimately, your loadout and skill would determine whether you live or die, and that is also a very exciting idea for me. It just is. Each game is good in its own way, is what I'm trying to say. But more importantly, it's down to you, the community, to decide which game gets your vote. Are you Team Battlefront or are you Team Squadrons? Let me know in the comments which game you enjoy more and why. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like, as it helps out the channel a lot more than you'd think, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
It's all about humanity.